My daughter vanished overnight with $16 million, but what she stole wasn't money. It was control. They thought I was just another gullible mother past 50. They didn't know who held the final button. The connecting flight left New York at 1:40 a.m. I flipped the switch. And just like that, every account began to freeze. My name is Margaret Whittaker Maggie, to anyone who's known me longer than a business meeting and at 58. I thought I understood the arithmetic of family. Revenue minus expenses equals profit. Time plus trust equals love. But sitting in my Fort Collins kitchen that October morning, watching steam curl from my coffee cup like question marks, I realized some equations don't balance. The morning light filtered through the aspen trees outside, casting gold coins across the breakfast table. It was the kind of light that made our craftsman home look like something from a real estate magazine, all warm wood and promises. I'd bought this place 15 years ago, back when Northline Freight Systems was just 10 trucks and a prayer. Now the company was gone, sold to a conglomerate for more money than I'd ever dreamed of making when I was loading boxes myself at 3 a.m. Mom, you're doing that thing again. Savannah stood in the doorway, her silk pajamas catching the light. Even at 29, she could still look like the little girl who used to steal my lipstick and wobble around in my heels. But the calculating look in her eyes that was new. Or maybe I was just now noticing it. What thing? I asked, though I knew. The thing where I stared at spreadsheets that weren't there, calculating moves for a business I no longer owned. The zombie CEO thing. She poured herself orange juice, the expensive kind from the organic market. You sold the company 6 months ago. You're supposed to be relaxing. I am relaxing. Tyler appeared behind her, all white teeth and gym muscles, his arm sliding around my daughter's waist with the casual ownership that still made my jaw clench. Morning? Maggie. Beautiful day for doing nothing. Right. I forced a smile. Every day's beautiful when you're retired. They exchanged a look quick, but not quick enough. I'd spent 30 years reading faces across negotiation tables. My daughter and son-in-law were terrible poker players. We should have dinner tonight, Savannah said, too casual. That new steakhouse downtown. Our treat. Our treat. With whose money? I wondered. Tyler's real estate investment business consisted mainly of failed flips and Instagram posts about hustling. Savannah's boutique marketing firm had exactly 2 clients, both friends from college who probably paid in exposure. 7:30. Tyler suggested. We'll make reservations. I nodded, watched them leave. Through the window, I saw them get into Tyler's new Mercedes leased. I was certain. Everything about Tyler was leased. The morning stretched ahead, empty as a vault. That was the problem with selling your life's work. You were left with the life, but not the work. I'd kept 16 million liquid, sitting in treasury bills and cash equivalents in a private vault at Mariner Vaults in Miami. The rest was tied up in trusts, real estate, careful investments that would grow without me watching. But I watched the 16 million, checked on it weekly, sometimes daily. My security blanket. Savannah called it, half joking. All that money just sitting there. Mom, not making more money. It's almost criminal. She'd been there last month when I'd gone to Miami for my regular vault visit, watched me enter the codes, sign the papers. So old school, she'd laughed. Who uses physical vaults anymore? Someone who remembers banks failing, I'd answered. The dinner was perfectly orchestrated. I realized later. The wine, my favorite Bordeaux. The conversation light. Funny. Nostalgic. Tyler even told the story about their wedding when the cake fell over, the one that always made me laugh. Then, over dessert. Savannah reached across the table and took my hand. "Mum, we're worried about you." The words hung there like a diagnosis. "You're alone in that big house," Tyler added, his voice dripping concern. "Checking that vault every week. It's not healthy." "What are you talking about?" Savannah squeezed my hand. "We just think. Maybe it's time to let us help. With the financial stuff. You worked so hard for so long. You deserve to actually rest." I pulled my hand back. "I'm perfectly capable of managing my own finances." "Of course you are," Tyler said quickly. "We're just saying. Why should you have to? That's what family's for." Family. The word sat between us like an uninvited guest. "We could set up a trust," Savannah continued. "Transfer the vault contents somewhere more accessible, where we could help oversee things." "You mean where you could oversee things?" Her face flushed. "That's not fair." "Isn't it?" The pretense dropped from Tyler's face for just a second, long enough for me to see what lived underneath. "We're trying to help. Maggie. That money's not doing anyone any good locked away." "It's doing me plenty of good. I sleep fine knowing it's there." "But for how long?" Savannah's voice had an edge now. "Mum, you're not getting younger. What if something happens? What if I lose my mind? Is that what you're asking?" Silence. I stood, placed my napkin on the table with deliberate calm. "Thank you for dinner. Next time. I'll pay." Outside, the Colorado air was sharp with coming winter. I sat in my car for a moment, watching them through the restaurant window. They were leaning close, talking fast, planning. I thought about the vault, those neat stacks of treasury bills, the cash reserves sitting patient as winter wheat. 16 million reasons for a daughter to forget she'd once called me her hero. The numbers always tell the truth, even when the people won't. The storm hit the Front Range at 11:43 p.m., rattling windows and sending aspens into a frenzy. I was reading quarterly reports from companies I no longer owned. Old habits die hard when my phone buzzed with an alert from Mariner Vaults. Vault accessed at 11:51 p.m. Eastern Time. My blood turned to ice water. I wasn't in Miami. I was in my bedroom in Colorado, listening to the storm tear at the roof. The next alert came 30 seconds later. Withdrawal authorization processed. Then another, vault contents transferred. Thank you for your business. My hands shook as I called Mariner's emergency line. 20 minutes of hold music that sounded like a funeral dirge. Finally, a tired voice. "This is security. This is Margaret Whitaker, Vault 7739. Someone just accessed my vault. I'm in Colorado. I didn't authorize." "Ma'am, our records show you presented identification at 11:51 p.m. Biometric match confirmed." "That's impossible. Check your cameras." A pause. Keyboard clicking. "I'm seeing a woman matching your description. Hat. Sunglasses. At midnight, she wore sunglasses at midnight." "Ma'am, we see all kinds of things. The identification was notarized. Mobile notary. All legitimate. Sarah Kim. Commission number." I hung up, opened my laptop, logged into the Vault's online portal. The screen might as well have been a death certificate. Current balance, $16 million. Gone. My phone lit up with a text. Savannah. Mum, I'm taking control of the family's future. You're not well enough to manage this anymore. Tyler and I will multiply this money for all of us. Please don't fight this. You haven't been yourself lately. I read it 3 times before the words made sense. Not well enough. Haven't been yourself. Another text. We've already filed paperwork for limited conservatorship. It's for your own good. The way you've been paranoid about the money, checking constantly, accusing us at dinner, these are signs. Mum, we love you too much to watch you decline. Decline. They were building a case that I was losing my mind, and the theft was their evidence. I called Savannah, straight to voicemail. Tyler, same. Their social media, however, was very much alive. Instagram stories from Miami International Airport. Savannah posing with a champagne glass in the first-class lounge. Tyler's smirking selfie with the caption, "Big moves coming." The timestamp 1:12 A. I sat on my bedroom floor, storms screaming outside, and did what I'd learned to do in 30 years of business. I got cold. Emotion was luxury I couldn't afford. First call Jamal Pierce. I'd kept his number after he'd handled a hostile takeover attempt 5 years ago. He answered on the second ring, despite the late hour. Maggie. What's wrong? Elder financial abuse, theft, fraudulent conservatorship filing. I need you here by morning. I'm in Denver. I can be there by 7. Don't talk to anyone. Don't post anything. Document everything. Second call, Iris Klein. She'd been compliance officer at Highline Private Bank when I was building Northline. Now she ran her own consulting firm. More importantly, she understood how money moved through systems and how to stop it. Iris, I need a favor. A big one. I explained quickly. She listened without interrupting. The notary, she said finally. If it's fraudulent, that's wire fraud. If they moved money across state lines, that's federal. How much did they take? 16 million. She whistled low. That triggers every reporting requirement in existence. SAR, CTR, the works. They can't move that much without leaving footprints. Send me everything you have. Screenshots, texts, vault records. I'll make some calls. I spent the rest of the night building my case. Downloaded their social media posts, Tyler flashing cash at a casino 2 weeks ago when they claimed to be broke. Savannah's deleted tweet about big changes coming from 3 days ago, archived on the Wayback Machine. The guest log from Mariner Vault's website showing my supposed visit when my phone's location services proved I was in Colorado. By dawn, I had 40 pages of evidence and a rage so cold it burned. Jamal arrived at 7:15 a.m., looking like what he was a legal weapon in a perfect suit. Show me everything. I did. He took notes in shorthand, occasionally muttering in disgust. The conservatorship angle that's their cover story. They're trying to make the theft look like concerned family protecting assets from a declining elder. Classic playbook. He looked up. But they're amateurs. This notary, Sarah Kim, I'll have her license pulled and criminal charges filed by noon. The biometric match they claimed Mariner Vaults better have that data backed up, because we're going to prove it was falsified. Can you freeze the money? Already on it. Emergency temporary restraining order. Ex parte means without notice to them. Colorado courts open at 8 a.m. We file for financial elder abuse protection, which triggers automatic asset freezing provisions. But Maggie... He paused. If they've already moved it offshore, then we make sure they never enjoy a penny of it. He smiled, sharp as winter light. That's the Maggie who built Northline. Good. You're going to need her. My phone buzzed. A notification from my credit monitoring service. Someone had just run a credit check on me from a law firm in Delaware that specialized in guardianships. They weren't just stealing my money. They were trying to steal my autonomy, my dignity, my right to fight back. The storm had passed, leaving the world crystal bright and sharp-edged. Through my window, I could see the Rockies, immovable and patient. Tyler and Savannah thought they were playing chess. They didn't realize I'd been playing this game since before they were born, and I'd learned from masters who wrote the rules. The text from Savannah at 8:43 a.m. sealed their fate. Mum, don't do anything rash. We're only in Dubai for a few days to set up the new investments. Your money is safe with family who loves you. Dubai. The new Switzerland for money that didn't want to be found. I forwarded it to Jamal with 3 words. End them all. Jamal's office became my war room. By 9:30, we had 3 laptops running, 2 phones on speaker, and a whiteboard covered in timelines and legal strategies. First move, Jamal said. We hit them with everything simultaneously. No warning shots. He pulled up a document. Elder abuse complaint filed. Emergency TRO granted by Judge Martinez at 9:15. Your daughter and Tyler are now legally barred from accessing any of your remaining assets. What remaining assets? I asked bitterly. Everything else you own. The house, the investment accounts, the properties in Aspen and Vale. They can't touch anything now. He paused. But we need to be smarter about the stolen money. Dubai doesn't care about Colorado court orders. Iris called in on speaker. I've triggered SARS at 3 major banks. That 16 million moving through the system set off alarms everywhere. But here's the interesting part. They tried to wire it through a correspondent bank in New York first. That gives us federal jurisdiction. And FinCEN is interested. Very interested. That much money moving that fast with a fraudulent notary, it screams money laundering. I felt a spark of hope. Can they freeze it? Not directly in Dubai, but I have contacts at compliance departments in 3 banks they'll likely use. Once those banks know there's an active federal investigation, they get very nervous about touching flagged money. Jamal was already drafting something new. Maggie, I need you to transfer your remaining liquid assets to a Delaware statutory trust immediately. It has the strongest asset protection laws in the country. How much are we talking about? I did quick math. Maybe 2 million across various accounts. Do it now. Every penny. The trust will have an anti-alienation clause, even if they somehow got conservatorship. They couldn't touch it. My fingers flew across the keyboard, initiating transfers. Years of running a logistics company had taught me to move fast when necessary. Now, Jamal continued, tell me about Tyler's business structure. 2 LLCs that I know of, Reed Investment Partners and Skyline Ventures. Both registered in Colorado, both hemorrhaging money according to the state filings I pulled last month. Jamal's smile was predatory. Perfect. We're filing UCC1 liens against both entities for the stolen 16 million. It won't get the money back, but it prevents them from using those LLCs as collateral for any loans. They can't wash the money through corporate borrowing. They'll just create new companies. Let them try. We'll be watching every filing, every incorporation. The moment their names appear on any business document, we slap another lien on it. Iris spoke up. I need something to bait them with. Something that makes them surface the money in a traceable way. I thought about Savannah, her weakness for quick wins, Tyler's obsession with looking successful. What about a fake investment opportunity? Something that sounds too good to pass up. Keep talking. Black Mesa Minerals. It's a company name I registered years ago but never used. We could create a fake oil shale opportunity in Arizona, promise massive returns, but require the investment to flow through U.S. banks for regulatory compliance. Jamal was taking notes. That's wire fraud if we actually take money. We won't take anything. We just need them to attempt to move the money through monitored channels. The moment it hits a U.S. correspondent bank, the SRs trigger. It's entrapment. It's a business opportunity that happens to have strict banking requirements. Iris corrected. Completely legal. I'll create the pitch deck. Make it gorgeous, but urgent, limited time. Other investors circling. My phone rang. Unknown international number. Answer it, Jamal said. On speaker? Record everything? Hello, Mother? Savannah's voice was sugar-sweet poison. Savannah, I heard you've been busy this morning, filing false police reports, making wild accusations. Returning stolen property would be simpler. She laughed. Stolen, I have power of attorney, signed and notarized. By a notary who's about to be arrested for fraud. Silence. Then, you can't prove that. Sarah Kim, commission number 47391. She was in Atlantic City last night according to her credit card records, not Miami. Strange how she notarized documents in Florida while playing blackjack in New Jersey. Tyler's voice came on. Listen, Maggie. No, you listen. You have 72 hours to return every penny. After that, I unleash everything. FBI, FinCEN, Interpol. Your photos are already being distributed to every major bank's compliance department in Dubai. You're bluffing? Check your corporate accounts. I heard typing. Then Tyler's sharp intake of breath. The UCC1 liens had just posted. Both his companies were now essentially frozen. You crazy. 72 hours. I hung up. Jamal was already on his other phone with someone. Yes. Judge Martinez? Emergency asset preservation. Flight risk. Thank you, Your Honor. He hung up. We just got expanded TRO coverage. Any assets they have in U.S. banks are now frozen pending investigation. I walked to the window, looking out at Denver's skyline. Somewhere out there, Sarah Kim was about to have federal agents at her door. In Dubai, my daughter was discovering that stolen money could become a prison of its own. Iris, how fast can you get that Black Mesa pitch together? Give me 6 hours. I'll make it irresistible. Wyoming mineral rights. Federal land leases about to be approved. Projected 400% returns in 18 months. Make it 500%. They're greedy enough to believe it. Jamal stood, gathering documents. I need to file 16 more motions before close of business. Delaware Trust, federal complaints, interstate commerce violations. Maggie, you understand once we do this, there's no going back. This is scorched earth. I thought about Savannah at 5, dressed as a CEO for Halloween because she wanted to be like Mommy. I thought about her at 16, helping me with Northline's books during summer break. I thought about her last night, planning to steal everything I'd built while telling me I was losing my mind. Burn it all, I said. The war room fell silent except for the hum of laptops and the scratch of Jamal's pen. Outside, Denver went about its business. unaware that $16 million was floating in legal limbo between Colorado and Dubai, caught in a web of its own making. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number, but I recognized the message style. Cole Abrams, private investigator, ex-Homeland Security. Heard you might need someone with federal connections. Coffee. I smiled for the first time since 11:43 last night. The pieces were falling into place. Send him up, I told Jamal. The Queen was off the board, but the game was far from over. The Instagram post went live at 6:22 p.m. Dubai time, Savannah, champagne flute in hand, standing on a hotel balcony with the Burj Khalifa glittering behind her. New horizons, new opportunities. Sometimes you have to take control of your own destiny. Dubai life. Family business. Next level. Cole Abrams slid his tablet across the table, showing me the screenshot. Posted 4 minutes ago, geo-tagged at the address downtown. Room probably runs $3,000 a night. With my money. With stolen money, he corrected. There's a legal distinction. I've been tracking their digital footprints. They flew JFK to Istanbul, Turkish Airlines, business class, then Istanbul to Dubai, Emirates. They're not trying to hide. They think they've already won. Cole pulled up another screen. Tyler's been sloppy. Posted a video tour of their suite. I can see documents on the table banking forms. Looks like they're trying to set up accounts at Emirates NBD and Mashreq Bank. Jamal leaned in. Can you get clearer images? Already enhanced them. They're using a business setup service, Gulf Partners Consulting. I have a contact there who owes me a favor from my HSI days. Use it, I said. Cole nodded, already typing. There's more. They had dinner last night at Nusret. Tyler paid with a credit card linked to a new account at RAK Bank. The money's moving. How are they converting it? Treasury bills are bearer instruments if you have the physical certificates. They probably had the replacement certificates issued to themselves using that fraudulent POA, then presented them at a Dubai bank for cash value. The bank wouldn't know they're stolen unless someone tells them. Iris's voice crackled through the speakerphone. Which is exactly what I'm about to do. I've got a contact at the UAE Central Bank. They take money laundering very seriously, especially when it involves U.S. citizens. Will they freeze the accounts? Not immediately, but they'll flag them. Every transaction will be monitored. And here's the beautiful part. Once an account is flagged for potential money laundering, the bank has to report any large transfers to both UAE and U.S. authorities. Cole pulled up flight records. They booked return tickets for next month. Dubai to JFK via London, November 15th. They plan to stay that long, probably waiting for the conservatorship filing to go through. They think once they're declared your guardians, everything becomes legal retroactively. I laughed, bitter as black coffee. They're about to learn otherwise. Jamal's phone rang. He listened, then smiled. Sarah Kim was just arrested. Federal charges: wire fraud, notary fraud, conspiracy. She's already trying to make a deal. Says a couple paid her $5,000 cash to notarize pre-signed documents without meeting the actual signatory. Will she testify? She'll do anything to avoid 20 years in federal prison. Cole's tablet pinged. My contact at Gulf Partners just sent me something interesting. Tyler's trying to set up a DMCC company, Dubai Multi-Commodities Center. It's a free zone entity, often used for gold trading and money laundering. Company name: Whitaker Holdings, FZE. They were using my name, my reputation, my life's work as cover for their theft. Iris, is the Black Mesa pitch ready? Sending it now. I've created a beautiful website, fake testimonials, even a doctored geological survey. The hook is that they need to move fast. The federal land lease expires in 72 hours. Send it through the Dubai Business Setup Service. Make it look like a cold pitch to new investors. Cole was scrolling through more social media. Savannah's been busy. She's joined 3 Dubai investment groups on Facebook, posting about looking for strategic partnerships and high-yield opportunities. She's hunting for ways to multiply the money quickly, I said. She knows 16 million sounds like a lot, but in Dubai, it's middle tier. She wants to turn it into 50, 100 million. That's what makes Black Mesa perfect, Iris said. It promises exactly that scale of returns. My phone rang. Unknown number. Dubai prefix. Record this, Jamal whispered. Hello. Mrs. Whitaker. This is James Morrison from Gulf Partners Consulting. British accent, professional. I understand you're looking to verify some documents regarding Whitaker Holdings. Cole gave me a thumbs up, his contact, playing along. I'm not aware of any Whitaker Holdings, I said carefully. Ah, well, that's concerning. We have a Mr. Tyler Reed here, claiming to be establishing this entity on behalf of the Whitaker Family Trust. He has documentation showing power of attorney from you. That documentation is fraudulent. Mr. Reed and his wife, my daughter, stole $16 million from me using forged documents. There's an active FBI investigation. A pause. I see. That's quite serious. We'll need to suspend the application immediately pending verification. I'd appreciate that. My attorney, Jamal Pierce, will be in touch with official documentation. Of course. And Mrs. Whitaker. We take fraud very seriously here. If these allegations are substantiated, we'll be obligated to report this to UAE authorities. I hung up, feeling the first real spark of satisfaction since this nightmare began. Tyler's about to get a very uncomfortable phone call, Cole said. Gulf Partners will stall them for days, maybe weeks, demanding more documentation. Savannah posted another photo. Her and Tyler at a yacht club, meeting with men in expensive suits. Building empires, the caption read. Let them think they're building, I said. Every move they make, every account they open, every contact they make, it's all evidence. They're documenting their own crime spree. Jamal's computer dinged. The federal warrant just came through. FBI will be searching their Colorado properties tomorrow morning. They'll find nothing. They'll find everything. Their computers, files, browser history showing research into conservatorships, elder law, how to move money offshore. Digital forensics will have a field day. Cole zoomed in on Savannah's latest photo. Wait, look at this. In the background, reflection in the window. She's got a laptop open to a banking portal. That's definitely an Emirates NBD account screen. Can you enhance it? Already am. I can make out partial account numbers. With this and the federal warrant, we can petition for international financial discovery. I stood, walked to the window. Denver was settling into evening, lights beginning to twinkle. Somewhere, 7,000 miles away, my daughter was drinking champagne bought with money she'd stolen from me, planning a future built on betrayal. But she'd made one crucial mistake. She'd forgotten that I didn't build Northline by being nice. I built it by being 3 steps ahead of everyone else. Send the Black Mesa pitch, I told Iris. But add one detail. Tell them initial investors get a personal meeting with Margaret Whitaker herself. Use my real signature from the corporate documents. That's brilliant, Jamal said. They'll think you're involved, that maybe you're not as opposed to their actions as you seem. They'll think I'm losing my mind, just like they claimed. Paranoid enough to file charges, but confused enough to still include them in deals. Cole grinned. You're going to gaslight the gaslighters. I smiled. Cold as the Colorado mountains in January. They wanted to play with my money. Let's see how they handle playing with my rules. The Black Mesa deal hit Tyler's inbox at 2:15 a.m. Dubai time. I knew, because Cole had installed tracking pixels in the email we could see when it was opened, how long they spent reading it, even which links they clicked. They've opened it 6 times in the past hour, Cole reported, watching his screen. Tyler forwarded it to Savannah. She forwarded it to 3 different email addresses, probably advisors or potential partners. Iris called in, excitement in her voice. The bait worked better than expected. Emirates NBD just flagged a suspicious transaction attempt. Tyler tried to wire $2 million to the Black Mesa escrow account we set up in New York, which triggered everything: OFAC screening, CR filing, the works. The New York correspondent bank froze the transfer immediately pending investigation. Better yet, Dubai authorities are now asking Tyler to provide source of funds documentation. Jamal was drafting furiously. This gives us probable cause for the worldwide freezing order. A U.S. federal judge can issue preliminary findings that support international asset recovery. My phone buzzed. A text from Savannah. Mom, we need to talk. This has gotten out of hand. Then another. I know you're involved in Black Mesa. We can work together on this. And another. Please. I'm your daughter. I showed the texts to Jamal. She's panicking. Good. Panicked people make mistakes. He pulled up a document. The WFO application is ready. We're filing in DIFC Courts, Dubai International Financial Center. They have reciprocal agreements with U.S. federal courts. How long? If we file emergency ex parte 24 to 48 hours. Cole's computer chimed. Savannah just posted on Instagram. She deleted it immediately, but I grabbed it. He showed me the screen, a photo of her crying, makeup smeared. The caption, "When family betrays you." She's trying to flip the narrative, I said. Too late. Sarah Kim just finished her federal interview. She identified Savannah from a photo lineup as the woman who paid her to notarize the fraudulent documents. She's also providing text messages where Tyler coached her on what to say if questioned. My phone rang. Tyler. Put it on speaker, Jamal said. Keep him talking. Hello, Tyler. Maggie. What the hell are you doing? You're destroying your own daughter. I'm recovering stolen money. It's not stolen. We have power of attorney. Fraudulent POA. Sarah Kim is in federal custody. She's told them everything. Silence. Then, you'd send your own daughter to prison. You sent yourselves to prison the moment you forged those documents. We did it for you. His voice cracked. You were checking that vault obsessively. It wasn't healthy. We were protecting the family wealth. By stealing it, by managing it, Savannah's your daughter. It would all go to her anyway. Eventually, legally, with my consent, not through theft and fraud. I heard muffled arguing in the background. Then Savannah's voice. Mom, please, we can fix this. The Black Mesa deal, we can do it together. Triple the money. You always said I had good business instincts. You do. You also have no ethics. I learned from watching you. You crushed competitors, bought out partners, Did whatever it took to build Northline. I never stole from family. You stole time. My entire childhood. You were at the office or on the road. Now, when I try to take initiative, to show I can handle the family legacy, you committed federal crimes. Cole slipped me a note. Keep them talking. We're tracing their exact location. Where are you now? Savannah. Why? So you can send more lawyers. So I can send you one last chance. Return the money in the next 24 hours, and I'll consider dropping the criminal charges. You'll still face civil penalties, but you won't go to prison. Tyler laughed bitterly. We can't return it. It's tied up now. Investments, accounts, processing delays. Even if we wanted to, then you've made your choice. Mum? Savannah's voice was small suddenly, like when she was 7 and had broken my grandmother's vase. I'm pregnant. The words hit like ice water. Jamal grabbed my arm, shaking his head. Don't react. Don't believe it. Congratulations, I said flatly. Your child will have an interesting birth certificate. Born in federal prison? Perhaps. She gasped. You wouldn't. You stole $16 million and tried to have me declared incompetent. What exactly wouldn't I do? Cole showed me his screen. They were calling from the address downtown, Suite 4212. He pulled up building records the suite had been paid for through a corporate account at RAK Bank, using wire transfers traced back to my treasury bills. I have to go, I said. My lawyers are filing the international freeze orders now. Enjoy Dubai while you can still afford it. Wait, Tyler started. I hung up. The room was silent for a moment. Then Iris spoke from the speakerphone, the pregnancy claim. Lie, I said, though my chest felt tight. She's been posting champagne photos all week. Even if it's true, Jamal said carefully, it doesn't change the legal situation. They committed crimes. Cole was typing rapidly. I just sent everything to my contact at DIFC courts. The suite rental, the bank records, the attempted Black Mesa transfer. It's a clear pattern of money laundering. They'll expedite the WFO. I stood, walked to the window. The Rockies were painted gold by sunset, immovable and eternal. They chose this. Every step, every lie, every forged document, they chose this path. The money's the least of their problems now, Jamal said. The FBI wants them on wire fraud, money laundering, elder abuse, conspiracy, even with plea deals. They're looking at serious time. My phone buzzed. An email from an address I didn't recognize. The subject line, "You win." I opened it. A single photo, Savannah and Tyler at Dubai International Airport, holding tickets. The message read, "Coming home to face the music. You destroyed us. Hope you're happy. Your loving daughter." Cole checked flight manifests. They're booked on Emirates Flight 201, departing in 6 hours, landing JFK tomorrow afternoon. Cancel the WFO filing, I told Jamal. Let them come home. Are you sure? They'll land in FBI custody. Clean, simple, no international extradition mess. I turned from the window. And I want to look my daughter in the eyes when they arrest her. I want her to see exactly who won this game. Iris laughed darkly through the speaker. The Black Mesa money transfer they attempted, it's evidence of intent to commit wire fraud. That alone adds 5 years to their sentences. I picked up my phone, opened Savannah's Instagram. Her last post. From an hour ago, a sunset photo from the airplane gate. Heading home. Some battles aren't worth fighting. She still didn't understand. This was never a battle. It was an execution. The video conference was scheduled for 10 a.m. Dubai time, 4 hours before their flight. They thought they were closing the Black Mesa deal. Instead, they were signing their own confessions. Remember, Jamal coached me. We need them to explicitly acknowledge the source of their investment funds. The moment they claim the money as theirs, we have them on record. I sat in Jamal's conference room, facing a wall of screens. Cole had his tracking systems running on one monitor. Iris was connected on another. And the main screen showed the Black Mesa virtual meeting room, a sophisticated setup designed to look exactly like a legitimate mineral rights negotiation. At 10:02, they logged in. Savannah looked exhausted. Her usual polish cracked. Tyler wore a suit but had missed a button, giving him a disheveled appearance. Behind them, I could see packed luggage. "Good evening from Dubai," Tyler started, trying for confident. "We're excited about this opportunity." The investment coordinator, actually an FBI undercover asset Jamal had arranged, nodded professionally. "Before we proceed, we need to verify your accreditation as investors. Can you confirm the source of your investment funds?" "Family Trust," Savannah said quickly. "The Whitaker Family Trust." "And you have authorization to invest these funds?" "Complete authorization." Tyler produced documents, the fraudulent POA, the forged trust papers. "As you can see, we have full power of attorney from Margaret Whitaker herself." "Interesting," the coordinator said. "Because Mrs. Whitaker needs to sign off on all investments over 10 million. She should be joining us shortly." The color drained from Savannah's face. "She's joining." "Of course. Didn't you coordinate with her? This is her deal. After all." I watched them scramble, eyes darting between each other and the screen. The trap was so perfectly laid, they couldn't see the walls. "There must be some confusion," Tyler stammered. "We handle the family investments independently." "Then why?" I said, activating my camera. "Are you using my name?" Savannah's gasp was audible even through the compressed audio. "Mum. Hello, darling. Ready to make a deal. This is entrapment. This is business. You wanted to invest the money you stole. Here's your chance. All you have to do is sign the investment documents acknowledging the source of funds." Jamal activated his camera, appearing in a corner window. "Mr. Reed, Mrs. Reed, I should inform you that this meeting is being recorded and will be submitted as evidence in federal court." "Turn it off." Tyler reached for his laptop. "If you disconnect," the FBI coordinator said calmly, "we'll consider that consciousness of guilt. The Dubai authorities are already waiting outside your hotel." It was a bluff. Dubai authorities weren't there yet. But Tyler and Savannah didn't know that. "The documents, please," I said. "The real ones. Where did the 16 million actually come from?" Savannah's hands were shaking. "You know where." "Say it." "From the vault." "Whose vault?" She looked directly at the camera, and for a moment, I saw my daughter, not the thief, but the girl who used to fall asleep on my shoulder during long flights to supplier meetings. "Your vault. Mom, we took it from your vault. Without my permission. We had power of attorney. Did you have my real, legitimate authorization?" Tyler tried to interrupt. "Don't answer that. Did you?" I pressed. Savannah crumbled. "No, we didn't. We forged the POA. We paid Sarah Kim to notarize it without you there. We took your money without permission." "Thank you." I nodded to the coordinator, who pulled up a new document. This is a confession and restitution agreement, he explained. Sign it, and Mrs. Whitaker will recommend minimal prosecution. Refuse, and you'll be arrested when you land at JFK. This is coercion, Tyler snarled. This is mercy, Jamal corrected. Read Section 4 carefully. Tyler scrolled through the document on his screen. His face went white. This says we acknowledge wire fraud, elder financial abuse, conspiracy. All things you just admitted to on camera, I pointed out. But Section 4.3, Savannah was reading now. This transfers all our assets to you. To a restitution trust, actually. Every penny you own, every property, every investment liquidated to repay what you stole. We don't have 16 million in assets. Then you'll have payment plans for the rest of your lives, garnished wages, seized tax returns, liens on everything you ever own. Tyler slammed his laptop shut. The screen went black on his side, but Savannah stayed on. You're really going to do this to your own daughter? You did this. I'm just finishing it. She pulled up the document on her phone. I watched her read through it. Every damning line. The confession. The restitution. The cooperation agreement with federal prosecutors. There's something else, she said quietly. Section 9. What's an authentication override? My moment of triumph. Remember how paranoid you thought I was about that vault? How I'd check it obsessively? Yeah. I wasn't checking the money. I was updating the security protocols. Those treasury bills you stole? They're not bearer instruments. They're registered securities with blockchain authentication. Every serial number, every certificate, tagged with smart contracts. Cole pulled up his screen, showing the technical details. The moment Mrs. Whitaker reported them stolen, every certificate was flagged in the global financial system. Any bank that accepts them for deposit or collateral becomes liable for receiving stolen goods. Savannah's face crumpled. So, the money we deposited in Dubai is frozen the moment I execute the authentication override, which I'll do the second you sign that confession. And if we don't sign, then I execute it anyway, and you get arrested without a cooperation agreement. Your choice: prison with a plea deal, or prison without one. Savannah looked off camera, probably at Tyler. I heard arguing, but couldn't make out words. Finally, she turned back. I need a pen. Digital signature is fine, Jamal said. Just type your name and today's date. I watched my daughter sign her own confession. Each letter of her name was another nail in the coffin of our relationship. Tyler needs to sign too, the coordinator said. More off-camera arguing. Then Tyler reappeared. His face twisted with rage. This is your fault. He spat at me. You turned her against us, made her think she wasn't good enough. Sign it, Tyler, Savannah said quietly. Just sign it. He did, stabbing at his phone like he was trying to break it. Received and recorded. The coordinator confirmed. Mrs. Whitaker, do you want to execute the override now? I looked at Savannah one last time through the screen. She was crying, but not the manipulative tears from before. These were real. Mom, she whispered. I'm sorry. I know, I said, and I pressed enter. The Ritz-Carlton Dubai conference room was sterile as an operating theatre. Cole had flown out with me 22 hours of travel to watch my daughter surrender in person. He stood by the door with hotel security, while Jamal participated via video link from Denver. Savannah sat across the mahogany table, Tyler beside her, both flanked by a local lawyer they'd scrambled to hire. She'd lost weight in the 48 hours since our video call. Her designer clothes looked like costume pieces on a defeated actor. "Let's be clear about what happens now," I said, my voice steady as granite. "The confessions you signed are binding. The restitution agreement is enforceable in both U.S. and UAE courts." Their lawyer, a nervous man named Rashid, cleared his throat. "My clients wish to negotiate." "There's no negotiation. They signed. It's done." Tyler's fist hit the table. "You manipulated us. That whole Black Mesa thing was a legitimate business opportunity you tried to invest stolen money in. Not my fault you took the bait." Savannah hadn't looked at me yet. She stared at her hands, wedding ring catching the light. "The blockchain thing. Was that real?" Cole answered. 100% real. Your mother spent 2 years converting those treasury bills to smart contract securities. The moment you tried to deposit them, you triggered alerts at every major bank in the world. "You planned this," she whispered. "You knew we'd try something." I hoped I was wrong. The lie came easily. I'd suspected for months the questions about the vault, the sudden interest in my financial planning, Tyler's mysterious new investors. Rashid shuffled papers. The authentication override when Mrs. Whitaker executed it. The Dubai banks received immediate notification. "Your accounts are frozen, pending criminal investigation." "How much did we actually access?" Tyler asked. "About 4 million before the freeze hit," Cole said. "The other 12 million never cleared the correspondent banks. It's been recovered." 4 million! Tyler laughed bitterly. "We destroyed our lives for 4 million. You destroyed your lives for greed," I corrected. Finally. Savannah looked up. Her eyes were mine, same color, same shape, but hollow now. "Why the elaborate scheme? Why not just call the police immediately?" "Because I needed you to confess. On record. Voluntarily. Otherwise, you'd have claimed I gave you permission, that it was a family arrangement, that I was confused or forgetful." I leaned forward. "You were building a case that I was mentally incompetent. Weren't you?" She flinched. Tyler thought, "Don't." Tyler grabbed her arm. "Don't say anything else. It doesn't matter. We have the Google searches from your laptop. How to declare parent incompetent. Elder Financial Guardianship, Colorado. Can POA be retroactively validated?" Cole read from his tablet. Digital forensics pulled everything. Their lawyer stood. "I need to confer with my clients privately." "Sit down," I said. "We're not done." I pulled out a tablet, showing bank statements. "The 4 million you accessed, you spent 800,000 in 3 days. Hotel suites, shopping, a down payment on a yacht you'll never sail." "That's our money," Tyler started. "That's stolen money. Every purchase is another count of money laundering." Jamal spoke from the screen. "The U.S. Attorney's Office has filed 17 federal charges. The FBI will arrest you at JFK if you return. The UAE is considering their own charges for financial crimes committed on their soil." "So we're trapped," Savannah said. "No. You're facing consequences." She stood suddenly, pacing to the window. Dubai sprawled below, all gleaming towers and impossible dreams. "You know what the ironic part is? We didn't need the money. Tyler had investors lined up, real ones. We just needed capital to bridge the deal." "Then why?" I had to know. Why not just ask? She turned. Because you would have said no. You always said no. Too risky, too ambitious, too much like Dad's schemes. My ex-husband a ghost I thought we'd buried. Your father went to prison for fraud. He went to prison for getting caught. You were just smarter about it. The accusation hung between us like a blade. I built a legitimate business, I said quietly. Every contract honest, every deal clean, every hour stolen from your family. Is that what this is about, revenge for a lonely childhood? Savannah laughed, sharp and bitter. It was about proving I could do it too. Build something, risk everything, win big. She gestured at the frozen city below. Dubai was going to be our empire. Built on a foundation of theft. Built on family money that would have been mine anyway. When I died. Were you planning to accelerate that timeline too? The room went silent. Even Tyler looked shocked. How dare you? Savannah started. The insurance policy. Cole interrupted. You increased your mother's life insurance 6 months ago. Made yourself the beneficiary. Savannah's face went white. That was for estate planning. That was for a backup plan. She collapsed back into her chair. I would never. Mum, I would never. I don't know what you would or wouldn't do anymore. Rashid cleared his throat. What does Mrs. Whitaker want? Full restitution. 4 million returned immediately. The remaining 12 million is already recovered. Plus damages, legal fees, and the cost of unwinding your fraud. We don't have 4 million, Tyler said. Not anymore. Then you'll liquidate everything. The house in Denver, the cars, the jewelry, everything. And then prison. Probably 5 to 7 years with the plea deal, 10 to 15 without it. Savannah pulled out her phone, scrolling through photos. I glimpsed images of us from happier times, her college graduation, her wedding, last Christmas. Remember this. She showed me a photo. The two of us at Northline's headquarters the day I sold the company, both smiling, holding champagne. You said that day that everything you built was for me. It was. Then why couldn't you trust me with it? Because trust is earned, and you've proven exactly why I was right not to give it to you. She deleted the photo. I watched our smiling faces disappear into digital nothing. I'll sign whatever you want, she said quietly. Full confession, complete restitution, allocation of crimes, everything. Savannah. Tyler warned. It's over, Tyler. She won. She always wins. I stood. This isn't about winning. It's about justice. It's about control. It was always about control with you. Maybe she was right. Maybe I was a control freak who'd driven her daughter to crime through emotional starvation. Or maybe she was the entitled child who'd never learned that other people's possessions weren't hers to take. The truth probably lived somewhere between. Cole will send you the final papers, I said, heading for the door. Sign them today, or the deal disappears. Mum, Savannah called out. I paused, didn't turn. Was there ever a moment when you thought about just letting us have it? The money. I thought about lying, telling her yes, that Mother's love had almost won over justice, but she'd had enough lies. No, I said, not for a second. I walked out, leaving my daughter in a glass tower she'd built with stolen dreams, waiting for the walls to close in. The notification came at 3:17 p.m. Dubai time. A simple banking alert on my phone. Incoming wire transfer. Full amount received. $4 million. Every penny they'd stolen, returned with 18 hours to spare before criminal prosecution became mandatory. I stood in my hotel room at the Jumeirah, watching the sun paint the Persian Gulf gold. Cole knocked and entered, carrying his tablet like a weapon. "It's done," he said. "The funds just cleared. Clean transfer from the liquidation of their assets. The house sold this morning. Both cars auctioned, jewelry consigned. They even sold their wedding rings. And them. Still at the Ritz. Their lawyer is processing the signed agreements. Tyler's trying to get the passport hold lifted. Savannah." He paused. "Savannah's been sitting in the lobby for 2 hours, just staring at her phone." I pulled up my banking app. There it was, 16 million restored. The numbers that had started this war, back where they belonged. But numbers were just numbers. What I'd lost, what we'd both lost, couldn't be measured in dollars. My phone buzzed. Jamal on video. "Maggie, the prosecutor accepted the plea deal. With the full restitution and cooperation, they're looking at 3 years. Minimum security. They could be out in 18 months with good behavior." "That's generous. That's family." Family. The word tasted like ashes. "There's one more thing," Cole said. He pulled up security footage from the Ritz lobby. "You need to see this." The video showed Savannah at a courtesy phone, dialing. Audio was included, a perk of Cole's connections. "Hi, Mum." Her voice was broken glass. "I know you won't answer your cell. I know you're probably watching this somehow anyway. Cole's thorough like that." She laughed. Hollow. "I just wanted you to know. The pregnancy wasn't a lie. 8 weeks. Found out the day before we left for Dubai." My chest tightened. "I'm going to terminate it," she continued. "Not as punishment or manipulation, just, how can I raise a child when I'm going to prison? How can I teach them right from wrong when I've proven I don't know the difference myself?" She paused, wiping her eyes. "You asked why we didn't just ask for help. The truth, I was ashamed. Ashamed that at 29, I'd failed at everything. My business was dying. Tyler's investments were disasters. We were about to lose everything. And there you were, my mother, who built an empire from nothing, who never failed at anything. How could I admit I wasn't like you?" The lobby phone's cord was stretched tight in her grip. "So we convinced ourselves we were entitled to it, that it was advance inheritance, that you'd understand eventually. Tyler found Sarah Kim through some online forum for people with difficult parents. Can you believe that we joined support groups for people dealing with controlling elders? We convinced ourselves you were the problem." Someone approached in the video Tyler, gesturing angrily. She waved him off. But sitting here, about to sign my life away, I realized something. You didn't steal my childhood by working all the time. You showed me what determination looked like. You didn't withhold love. You just showed it through building something that would outlast us both. And I threw that legacy away for what, quick money and a husband who's already talking to divorce lawyers. Tyler grabbed the phone from her hand, hanging it up. The video ended. "When was this?" I asked. 40 minutes ago." I walked to the window, pressing my palms against the glass. Somewhere in this city of sand and dreams, my daughter was facing her choices. Part of me wanted to go to her, to be the mother she needed. But she was right. I'd shown love through building things, and sometimes the most loving thing you could build was a boundary. My phone rang. Unknown number. Mrs. Whitaker. An official voice. "This is Agent Harrison from the FBI. We've just received the signed plea agreements. Given the full restitution and cooperation, we're prepared to recommend supervised release pending sentencing. They'll need to remain in Dubai for now. The passport hold stays, but they won't be detained. Thank you. Mom off the record. I've worked elder fraud for 15 years. Never seen a victim fight back this smart. Most people your age. Agent Harrison. I'm 58, not 90. And I didn't build a company from nothing by letting people walk over me. No, ma'am. I suppose you didn't. I hung up and turned to Cole. Book me a flight home. Tonight. You're not going to see her again. What would be the point to forgive her? I can't. To punish her more, she's already lost everything. To say goodbye. I considered it. One last moment with my daughter before the legal system took over. But Savannah was right. I showed love through building things. And the last thing I could build for her was a lesson she'd never forget. Actions have consequences. Even when, especially when it's family. She knows where to find me, I said. After she serves her time. After she's proven she's changed. Maybe then? And if she doesn't change? I picked up my vault keys, the ones Savannah had tried so hard to steal. Not knowing they were useless without my biometric data, without the blockchain authentication, without the dozen other safeguards I'd built. Then the money goes to charity when I die. Every penny. Cole nodded. Understanding. I'll get the flight. As he left, I opened my phone's photo gallery, found the picture Savannah had deleted from hers, the two of us at Northline's sail. Champagne raised, smiling. I'd kept it. I'd kept them all. But keeping memories didn't mean living in them. I dropped the vault keys in my purse, their weight familiar as worry, comfortable as control. $16 million saved. A daughter lost. The arithmetic was simple, but the equation would never balance. My phone lit up with one final message. From the bank, vault access restored. All securities verified. Thank you for your business. I smiled, cold and sharp as winter morning. The money was never really gone. I'd made sure of that with the blockchain securities, the smart contracts, the authentication protocols. Even if Savannah had succeeded in keeping it, I could have frozen every cent with a keystroke. She thought she was stealing money. She was really stealing trust. And unlike money, that couldn't be recovered with banking alerts and wire transfers. The Dubai sun was setting, painting the city in shades of gold and shadow. Somewhere. Savannah was learning what I'd always known: you can build an empire on many things: hard work, innovation, even luck, but never on someone else's foundation. I closed my eyes, gripping the vault keys tight enough to leave marks on my palm. The last lesson was always the hardest. Sometimes. The greatest act of motherhood is knowing when to stop being a mother. The keys jingled in my hand like 30 pieces of silver, like victory, like defeat, like the end. Thank you all for listening to this story. I'd love to know where you're tuning in from. Drop a comment below and let's connect. If this tale of betrayal and revenge resonated with you, please subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts. What would you have done in Maggie's position? Looking forward to reading your perspectives.